Yo, what is going on, guys? Welcome to the video. I hope your morning is going great. Mine's been really good, and today we have a great video. I know the one last night was kind of scuffed. I didn't do the best job. I'm going to talk at the end of the video about why it wasn't the greatest. I guess it's an interesting story about my life and everything, but I promise this one will be better. It's going to be really exciting. We're going to talk about Canada versus Australia. So these two World Cup teams did a show match earlier, and it was really intense. It was very close. Canada did win 3-2. But remember, 3-2, guys. That's insane from Australia. I'm not going to lie to you guys. I didn't think Australia was going to be this competitive. I thought maybe they could pick up one map, win a few team fights here and there on some of the maps. But I didn't really think for a second that Australia was going to win 2 and almost 3. We saw some really exciting play coming out from both teams, specifically Trill on Australia. His Hammond play was incredible. We're going to specifically talk about him, what he did in this matchup, and why he pretty much looks like the best Hammond I've seen so far. He's definitely a pleasant surprise. I'll show you guys a few clips of this play. Now, although I was surprised about Australia's performance here and how close this set was, Canada seemed a little, I'd say, off in this match. I don't know if Canada's playing mind games, if they're not taking this match that serious. Something's going on with them. It was a little bit weird. It seemed like they didn't really understand how to play around Hammond, which I guess could be understandable since a lot of the players on Team Canada were just in the Overwatch League, and a lot of them were actually in the playoffs. We had Note from the Boston Uprising compete in the playoffs, Agilities from the LA Valiant, Surefour from the LA Gladiators, and they haven't been practicing or preparing against teams playing Hammond until recently. As for Australia, honestly, I'm not too sure what they've been doing recently. Not a lot of their players made it that far in their contender season, so maybe they have had off time to practice it. I'm not sure. I don't know. Honestly, I'm not trying to make excuses for Canada. It just seemed like they were really inexperienced against it. They also, before the scrim started, apparently leaked, or Surefour did on his stream, he should have been muted, but wasn't, and Team Canada gave up some strategies. So Surefour left his microphone and headset unmuted on Discord when Team Canada's coaches told everybody to mute, and then they started talking about strategies. This could be like the ultimate debate. I'm honestly not too sure. But the coach of Canada did say some pretty important information, it seems like. Like I said, we're going to take a look at the clip, guys. Weird situation. And overall, I'm going to cover this entire set between Canada and Australia. It was really exciting. Both teams went back and forth the entire time. And as well as that, guys, the Korean World Cup qualifier is now over. South Korea and Finland are moving on to BlizzCon and the top 8. I'm going to cover the final standings in every match that happened today. So it's going to be a fun and informative video, guys. If you do enjoy my content, be sure to drop a like on it. Every single like counts. And do not forget, click that red subscription box on my channel. I upload videos every single day. So if you want to stay updated on all Overwatch World Cup and Overwatch League news and updates, this is your spot. And now without further ado, let's hop into the video. So the first thing I want to cover real quick is the Surefour situation where he apparently leaked strats from Canada right before this match started. Go ahead and take a listen and watch to the clip.
Ren, that's it. Yeah, Ren, do you want to go over the strategy for the first map?
Okay, sure. Wait, what? Oh, okay. So because we don't want to show our hand too much and we don't want to kind of give people the impression of what we're practicing, we're going to be staying away from Sombra and Doomfist as much as we can today. There are 2 preset maps where you
I'm streaming what you're saying right now, by the way. I don't know if you know that.
Mute.
I mean,
it's too late now. I already said it.
Yeah. Did you not expect that? Hello?
Everybody else has their stuff muted, though. You're the only one that's streaming and doesn't have it muted.
I didn't know. We're having a public match, and no one told me.
It's fine. We still won't show how we're gonna play those heroes anyway.
Oh my god.
All right.
They're running Torb on every map. What?
Wait, Surefour, you muted now.
So very weird, right? Some people think it might be a debate because of Renethera at the very beginning. He's like, what? And then he says, oh, and like, it does kind of seem like this is a little bit scripted. But then again, like, I don't see the reason why Canada would need to script something like this. Who knows? Honestly, I have no idea. But if I had to bet, I think this was a legit situation and Surefour should have had his mic muted. Regardless, though, as Jane did say at the very end, I guess they're not really saying how they're going to play the heroes, which is true, but still, I mean, I guess other teams are playing a lot of Doomfist and Sombra, so It might not be that big of a leak, but I don't know. You guys take it for what it is, but it was very interesting going into this match considering Australia performed very well against Canada. And now finally, right before we hop into the actual games, guys, I do want to say that these matches were played on a Japanese server. So obviously Team Australia is in Australia, Team Canada is in Canada. They had to find a server where they could kind of meet in the middle and get decent ping for both teams. So there were times where some players on each team were lagging pretty hard with around like 170 ping. But for the most part, it was still pretty decent. They were playing around 120 to 140. Which honestly isn't that bad. We see a lot of NA and EU players hop over to the opposite region for contenders matches, and it really isn't the worst, but there was some lag spikes, so again, take that with what you will. Anyways, now let's go ahead and hop into some of this Hammond play, and I specifically want to start out in the very first map and one of the very first team fights. Throughout the entire set, Trill played very aggressive on Hammond. He demanded space, and he was honestly just like single-handedly bullying Canada at certain points. Now obviously he did have a lot of support throughout the entire match. His backline was always constantly healing him and even throwing nano boosts on him. And Hammond nano boosts seem to be really freaking deadly. I'll show you guys that in a clip as well, but let's first start off with that Elias one I was talking about, where it was the first time where Trill really demanded space and took control of the map.
Yuki's just flying on the sidelines there. He's trying to get those fire rockets past the Orisa shield, but he's going to have to push up if he wants to find a little more success with it.
This thing right now, waiting to see what Trill does, because Canada are kind of happy to just sit in this corner with the Orisa shield up, XQC protecting the team, waiting for the hold hook combos, get somebody into the well, get somebody into action. Here comes Trill finally, pops up Surefour, Yuki cleans him up, and it will be first blood. Trill though, oh, saves himself maybe.
A brilliant save there from Trill. He almost went down the well, but he just changes to his core form and hooks straight out of it, and he's going to be able to re-engage. Australia, they have all the airspace above them, and it's only a time before the pick falls. Husk comes out on Agility's big clean up here for Australia.
Yeah, this is a decent number of kills as well. Quick and early cap. More kills coming through, going to be a little bit of a stagger onto Note and for.
So now you guys see exactly what I've been talking about. Trill played super aggressive. He would just constantly roll right into the middle of Canada, and most of the time there was really nothing they can do about it because they had to deal with so many other angles of attacks. Pharaoh straight from the skies, constantly spamming rockets into them, booping them back and forth. They had McCree in the front there, absolutely melting Orisa's shield, making sure that it was down at all times, giving Hammond and Farah good angles. And then Trill constantly dropping in on them, slamming them up in the air. We even seen Agilities hook him into the well, but against Hammond that does nothing because he's just going to swing his way right back up and re-engage right on top of you guys. And this left Canada kind of confused and not knowing what to do right away. They didn't know if they should focus on Hammond or try to focus on the DPSs in the back. And this was a consistent theme throughout the entire match. Team Canada would constantly commit multiple resources onto Trill and it would never work out. Let's go and take a look at this clip now where Agilities gets nano bladed and tries to kill Hammond, who also had a nano, but it was like a 1v4 in favor of Agilities and Team Canada. Here's the clip.
Managed to get this flip back around. 46% for Canada.
Anytime you can retake the point without having to invest a single ultimate, I just think that is just so much value coming out there for the Australians. But now at Kraken, he does have that nano boost, and Trill does have his mines. He's going to use them very early on, but just finds him slept. The nano boost gives him that surge of energy to wake back up, and now he's hunting the backline of the Canadian roster.
I gotta say, that looks like a power sleep for Trill right there because he wakes up so powerful indeed. Agilities gets nothing done with that Dragon Blade, drops himself into the minefield. And for Canada right now, they still have ultimates to play with. XQC decides not to use the Primal, and that to me would say that Canada do not want to stay into this fight right now. Australia, they have invested a decent amount of ults, and they have now gotten themselves.
So as you guys can see there, Hammond with a nano boost is literally fighting a nano boosted Genji, Soldier, Ana, and Diva, and still somehow kills the Genji Dragon Blade and gets out alive. These were the types of plays that Trill was making all series long, and it was honestly the biggest reason why I believe Canada actually struggled in this match. If it wasn't for Trill on Hammond, I think Canada would have had a much easier time. It did take some time for them to adapt and get used to it. They were the better team on Control overall though. They won Ilios and then they won the last map, Lijiang Tower. but the middle maps, specifically Payload and Hybrid, were a struggle. Numbani was a real competitive map. It was very close, but again, Trill, he was creating so much space. He was just such a pain in the ass for Canada. He kept coming out of nowhere and dropping his mines right in front of the backline of Team Canada, cutting them off from their front line. That way they couldn't heal them and support them in the middle of the fight, giving Team Australia the advantage. And for a map specifically like Numbani, this playstyle works really well because there's so many turns and corners where the Hammond can drop those mines and cut them off. So we saw Trill abuse this, and by the way, it was really nice seeing Numbani competitively. It feels like it's been so long, maybe since like Stage 2 of Overwatch League. It's a great map and it's always fun. We get a lot of surprising comps and strategies. Anyways, let's go ahead and take a look at another clip of Trill doing exactly what I just explained, cutting off the support line from the tank line, allowing Australia to pick them off.
Yeah, the aggressive playstyle coming out there from Mengachu gets nanobladed on. They only found Punk, but it was enough to stop it there. Now as Australia, they've got a little bit of an old bank coming up now with their tracking Mercy on. Trill popping the mines very early on. He's going to shut Surefour from even returning to the point.
That's the thing, because Surefour has a visor, does pop that visor finally. Note does not have any more of the Matrix deploy with Surefour, gets nothing on the visor, gets taken down by Punk, and this is finally that push for Australia. If they're lucky, they won't have to use any more ults. Custard doesn't quite survive, but all they got to do is take down XQC in this Primal Rage, and then they should probably be able to cap.
Kraken gets the res onto Custard. Two supports available for Australia. Punk, he has to use his Deeper Bomb, and then he finds himself killed by XQC on the Monkey. XQC, the only player alive, Primal Rage. But
so now you guys see exactly what I'm talking about. Trill with his aggressive play and his mines completely cut and split off Team Canada. There was no way throughout the entire team fight for them to regroup and help each other. And because of this, it was a very easy fight for Australia. Anyways, I know I've talked a lot about Trill and how Hammond has worked in this match, but I think it's very important considering we are moving into a meta where Hammond is going to be played a lot more. And we're all definitely learning a ton about this hero and how he can be played and viable in competitive play. It's definitely super exciting, but let's go ahead and move on now and talk a little bit more about Team Canada instead of Australia. Overall, they still did win the set 3-2. Yes, we didn't think it would be as close as it was, but they still played fine and there's nothing really to be scared about. I think it's just more so that Trill is really good and Australia knows how to play really well around Hammond. Sure, Canada struggled against it this time, but they have a good coaching staff. They'll learn to adapt and play around Hammond. There's also the factor that this is online play and live play at an actual event is going to be completely different. And that could mean for the better or worse, but it'll probably be for the better considering a lot of the players on Canada are in the Overwatch League. Pretty much most of them besides like Mengachu. And by the way, I actually want to talk about Mengachu and agilities here. For the maps that they did swap out agilities for Mengachu, they ended up losing, like Numbani, and I honestly don't know if I agree with this call. I understand that Mengachu is really hyped up as one of the best Pharahs, but Agility just spent an entire season grinding Pharah really hard, and he rose in the ranks and looked like one of the best. And we're talking about a season of the Overwatch League, not just a contender season. He played against the best teams in the world and made it very, very far. I really don't think Mengachu is better than Agilities anymore. Maybe at the start of the league, but not at the second. Agilities has some of the best practice, and he pops off. So in my opinion, you should probably be running Agilities and Surefour 24/7. I think they can cover every single hero on the pool. Maybe the Sombra for Mengachu is an exception, but now in a meta where you're swapping a ton, you should probably just run Surefour and Agilities who can play everything. So that's my opinion on that. Those are the two biggest reasons why I think Canada struggled today. They weren't ready for Hammond. Trill, huge shout out to him again, guys. Honestly, I think he's the best Hammond I've seen so far. Even compared to Fate, like, Fate didn't play that good against Finland, and yeah, he did pretty good against some of the teams that weren't that great in the group, but Trill just did this to Team Canada, one of the best teams coming into the Overwatch World Cup. So huge shout out to him, and now let's go to move on and transition more into the World Cup. So first and foremost, we have to take a look at these two absolutely insane clips. The first one comes from Shadowburn against Chinese Taipei. Oh my god, he just slaughtered them. Take a look, guys.
Look out for the trap that was previously put down by Shaolin, but looks like he's going to avoid it thus far, and now we can hear as Inyada charging up a shot, doesn't want to try and risk that going up against Oyo, and Russia already on the point getting percentage.
Oh, Venomine already dead. Shadowburn to the back line, misses the dash, but he doesn't miss the Shurikens. 18 going low as well. Shadowburn dashes in, reset after reset, it's going to kill Shaolin. Triple kill on the Vanilla Genji play, make that a quad kill. 5-6 kills for Shadowburn. Russia take that point in.
Shadowburn is insane. This guy is going to get offers for next season, boys. I'm telling you, there's no way he stays on Philadelphia Fusion for season 2. He needs to start, and he knows it. So shout out to Shadowburn for that insane play. Unfortunately, he did lose to South Korea today, and they will not be moving on. But it was a very intense and close group. Russia, honorable mention for them in the World Cup. They had a good run. And now before we go over those results, let's go ahead and take a look at the second insane clip. And this one is from Fraggy and Team Finland, again against Chinese Taipei. These guys got bodied today, guys. Take a look at this clip.
Finland takes a win. So, Chinese Taipei will be starting off with Kant on the Roadhog here, it appears. And we will have Finland running the GOATS composition that they've been running and finding so much success with. Fraggy's signature Reinhardt. Here's the battle.
Well, swinging away here. So go ahead. Just crash into each other like waves. Could be Fraggy coming up. The first kill as the tank will go down. Fire Strike comes in. Massive value. He's already got the shatter. Fraggy's feeling it. He says one map. That's all I need. All right, guys. Get behind me. Jump on my...
Oh my god. Fraggy literally just got an Earth Shatter in like 9 seconds. Absolutely insane. This is why we consider him the best Reinhardt in the World Cup so far. The guy honestly is a beast on that hero, and I'd be worried if I was a Reinhardt player going up against him, seriously. Anyways, that's it for the incredible plays, guys. Let's go ahead and now talk about the final standings and matches from today. So we started the day off with Finland and Japan. It wasn't a close one. Finland won 4-0. Moving on to the second match, Russia 4-0 against Taiwan. Third match, Japan and Hong Kong. It was a 4-0 for Japan. Then it was that huge match, Russia and South Korea. If Russia was able to win that, they would have put themselves in a position where they could have moved on. But unfortunately, South Korea did win it. It wasn't all that close, maybe at certain times, but not really. And then in the very last match, Finland beat Taiwan 4-0, securing their spot in the top 8, moving on to BlizzCon with South Korea. The final standings were 5-0 for South Korea, 19-2 maps. Their only 2 losses came from Finland. As for Finland, they went 4-1 and 16-4 maps. 3 of their map losses came to South Korea, 1 came to Russia, and 1 draw to Russia. Then in third place, we had Russia at 3-2, 12-7-1 overall. Japan sitting at 2-3, 8-12. A decent performance for them. I think they can go home somewhat happy. Then Taiwan, they went 1-4, 5-15 on the maps. And Hong Kong in last place, 0-5. And 0-20 on maps. They didn't win a map. Unfortunate. Anyways, guys, that's it. The South Korean qualifier on the World Cup is over. South Korea and Finland are our teams moving on to BlizzCon. Super exciting. And now let's move on and talk a little bit about the video yesterday. I'm just going to tell you guys what's been going on lately and the full story on why the video yesterday was so damn scuffed. So basically what's been happening lately is I will make the video that comes out in the morning at night at my house. So I film it around, I'd say, 4 a.m. to like 8 a.m. Eastern. It'll take like an hour to render and upload. I'll post the video at 9 Eastern a.m. Go to bed and then wake up around 1 to 3 Eastern, usually getting like 5 to 7 hours of sleep, sometimes a little less, who knows. The videos sometimes take really long. And I immediately get ready and I go to my girlfriend's house. And then we'll just hang out throughout the day and I'll constantly be checking Twitter, Reddit, pretty much all social medias, making sure nothing big happens, and if it does, I'll immediately start making the video on it. If something doesn't, then I figure out some other things to make a video on that you guys will still be interested in and want to hear about. Lately, there's been a lot of things to talk about, so it hasn't been a big problem. So in that regard, double uploading's been pretty easy, and I actually have a ton of video ideas that I still want to post where I haven't been able to find time to. Like the must-need players to join Season 2 for Overwatch League, or where is Dreamcasper and XQC right now, their stories and blah blah blah. Just a ton of stuff. But today I messed up starting off with the thumbnail, so I didn't have Adobe Photoshop on my laptop, and that meant I had to make a thumbnail with Paint, and yeah, my thumbnails aren't the best, but they're way better than the one yesterday. And it was totally scuffed because I have no idea how to use Paint. I tried my best, but it just wasn't good. And then also, when I was rendering my video, it crashed 2 times in a row, and I finally figured out it was the clip of Sinatra throwing the pitch, so there was no way I could get it in the video, it just kept crashing on that part. I wasted about an hour with that, and then I finally took it out and said I'd put the link in the description. The video rendered fine, but me and my girlfriend were really hungry. It was like 11 o'clock. We hadn't ate dinner yet, and I was like, alright, finally, I got the video fully rendered, I can start the upload, and I'm gonna go eat while the video uploads. And as I said, I started the upload, I put the title in kind of, it wasn't fully right, like half of it was missing, and we just left. I was like, screw it, I'll come back by the time it's finished uploading, I'll put the right title on, I'll put the tags in, I'll make sure everything is golden. Well, somehow I accidentally posted the video, made it public. I didn't realize this until like 30-45 minutes later, and I didn't get to put the link of Sinatra throwing the pitch. The title was completely scuffed, and it was a mess, guys. It was honestly just an unfortunate series of events, but it shows, guys, no matter what, I'm still going to get 2 videos out every single day. I'm out here grinding, working very hard. Doesn't matter if I'm at my house, my girlfriend's house, you will get the daily juice, boys. And I really do appreciate everybody watching every single day. And if you did make it this far into the video, guys, wow, you're a superstar. Be sure to comment down below. Let's see, let's have you guys who made it this far comment down below. We love Michael's girlfriend. So if you comment that down below, I will know you're a real one, and I will be hearting every single comment that says that, and I will also reply to them all. I'm sure it'll make her smile, and you know, anything to make her smile is great. Yeah, that was probably cheesy as fuck, whatever. Anyways, that's it for the video, guys. Again, if you watched it this far and like my stories, thank you. Be sure to drop a like on the video, subscribe to my channel for more daily content, and I'm out of here, guys. Peace.